What's going on, Soul Tribe? I salute the divinity in you, and welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and bringing another little nugget to add to the Soul Tribe archive. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the sun in Aries in the fourth house. I was like, look at the sun doing well. But when we talk about the sun is that when you think about like your sun, moon, and rising sign, those real kind of important points, where the rising sign or the ascendant is the body, the moon is how we nurture and feel in this body. The sun is the thing that is housing this, the energy that is fueling this body. This is the light of the higher light of the mind, the true kind of sense of self. There's this I, this body, but there's a deeper I to this. The sun is very spiritual when you think about it. It's the place that where we can get those inspirations, that will to express, and how the sign shows like how we express that energy. And in Aries is expressing it well, because this is where the sun finds his exaltation. So after the sign of Leo, this is where the sun is, when a planet's like in their fall, they have a potential to dip into their lower expressions. In the exaltation, they have a better way of, it's easier for them to express their highest expressions. And when you're talking about Aries, they are ruled by Mars, which Mars is our action, our drive, the desire, the passion. And Aries is the cardinal fire sign, and they're masculine in nature, so there's this active energy that comes with them. But the cardinal is the initiator, so that's the initiator of that will, that fire energy, that spark of life, the thing that that thing that fuels us. Fire bringing that heat. And then we talk about the fourth house, which is one of the angular houses, so strong house, and you can think of the fourth house as like your family or your foundations, but also deals with like your family, your home space. This could deal with even like your ancestors. This can get into real estate, land, property, any sort of things around those lines. And so when you combine all of this, one thing is that you do want to look to Mars and see what Mars is doing in this chart. Is Mars witnessing this house in any sort of way? How is it witnessing this chart? You'd have, by whole sign, you'd be a Capricorn rising. But one thing I would say to pay attention to this is, because this could be even about your homeland and things. So the home is going to be a lot where a lot of the inspirations start off. So it's like, how was home coming up for you? What were some things that did you feel inspired in your family? Did you have, I would think with that sun in Aries that there would hopefully be this sort of, and again, the chart's going to always, tell the whole story here. But I could see that there was a lot of, or that there could have been a lot of support maybe for the creative ideas, or that home played a huge inspiration for maybe who you have become, or maybe there is this passion to want to start your own family, or maybe there's this relationship with the parents that are really nice, or even pay attention to if there is that sort of animosity there, or maybe there's tension, maybe some sort of, maybe there's some hard, maybe the sun has some hard aspects going to it. Then maybe this could be where it's like, I'm going to, these things that I learned from this experience, we're going to end this sort of generational passings, and we're going to start something new with my new family. I'm going to start this spark of fire and light a new torch maybe for the family. So if the sun is maybe having a bit of a hard time here, but I would say definitely investing in the home space, like any sort of like real estate. Not necessarily, you don't necessarily have to become a realtor, but I think really being invested in your home would be something that's really nice. Let that be, have some DIY projects around the house. Maybe like build some things for your home. But again, buy your land and just build a house. Maybe you take some stuff for some like plumbing, or maybe you learn how to craft. So you build like your tables, your benches, you're really just intimately involved in the household there. Maybe having a garden around the place again, because it's like tending to some land there. And this could be even teaching, like maybe even your family, how to build and again invest in some sort of real estate, really kind of correcting any sort of ancestral things. Like I would think someone who's coming into this life in that sort of that Aries sun fire here is trying to expand the generational wealth, if you will. So that's something I would think to kind of think about there. I would even pay attention to maybe like, because would think there's this loyalty to like the homeland and where you come from and things, and so you might find yourself being invested in your home. Maybe this could be like a maybe even potential sort of like military involvement. Maybe you have family that has been carried from the, maybe have like military backgrounds possibly, but I would definitely think about what's that relationship with the homeland too. Do you feel at home in home, or is there a quest for something more? Maybe you have maybe a couple of properties. Maybe you have something where you're building things across, maybe in a couple of countries. There's sort of like some dual citizenships or some things like that. So that would even be something that we would potentially talk about in this stuff. There's a lot to really kind of unpack with that one. And if you have this placement or know someone who works or is working with this placement, down in the comment section, leave a comment, talk about this, how you're working with this stuff, kind of share maybe some advice and some things to think about that maybe I couldn't cover here today. Again, you need the whole chart to get an understanding of how how this house is aspected, how the sun is aspected, what's all going on there. So, and then if you want to work more intimately with your chart, get to understand yourself and your maybe aspects when you have like transits. We're getting ready to, depending on when you're watching this, we're getting ready to have some planets move into, outer planets moving into Aries this coming next couple years. So if that's something you want to get a heads up on or anything along those lines, down in the description box below is a link for the services that I provide. So definitely check that out. And if you want to work with the moon a little more closely, I also have a link for my other channel, The Chariot and Friends, down there, where I release videos every time the moon changes signs. So definitely check that out if you're curious. But until next time, keep raising that consciousness and that vibration through the roof. And I will catch you on the next one. Later.